Amanda Freed, and I'm grateful to be here with you today and for you to tune in and share some time with me. It is June 15th, 2021, and it's about 112 degrees here in the desert, so it's a good time to stay home. And I posted this morning, hi Gigi, I posted this morning or yesterday, and I asked folks, do you know how to ask for what you need? And it was such an interesting conversation that started, because not only did people say, for the most part, that no, they didn't know how to ask for what they needed, but that in fact they didn't even know themselves what they needed. And it started a really interesting conversation with me and within some other people. So as I said yesterday, that I'm committing to showing up here more often. I have a YouTube channel, so if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing and looking at some of the videos there, it's Amanda Freed Meditation. So I want to create a longer, bigger dialogue with you about us and about the things that we share in common life experience. I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a meditation teacher. I have a Dharma Discovery program that is a 6-month program. I teach mantra meditation to groups and individuals. My email is amandafreed25@gmail.com, so reach out to me if I can be of any support or help to you. I do these soul readings wherein tons of amazing information comes up. I never know what's going to happen, so I'm just interpreting what your spirit is telling me it wants you to know. So there's just a lot of avenues that I can help you navigate this time, and I'm honored to be endowed the ability to do so. So we're going to call these times Meditation Matters. So I'm kind of moving into this new phase of life and my work. I want you to know what I do to support myself and to support you and to keep growing. Whenever I'm not working with clients or talking with you, I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm listening to Ram Dass. Recently I've been listening to, did anybody watch The Wisdom of Trauma with Gabor Mate? It was amazing. It's an amazing movie. They did a week-long program where you could listen to Gabor Mate speak with other people about trauma, and I think that's really important now. So my goal, my work is to help us all through this time, and I think we have an amazing opportunity right now after COVID to reinvent ourselves, recreate our lives, and really step into the divinity of our humanity. And we used to separate those things. This is your divinity, this is your humanity, and they don't come together. So we'll do a meditation in a bit. I'll chat with you a little bit. Feel free to chime in, ask questions, make comments, whatever it is you want to share with me. I'm happy to have this be a dialogue and not just a monologue. So I was walking this morning, as I do. I take a walk every morning. Now I try to be done by 8 a.m. so the skin doesn't fry off my face. And there was a sheriff's deputy behind my home, and when I see that really close to my house, I usually ask them, hey, and I did. I said, hey, I live right there. Is there anything I should be concerned about? And he said, no, there's just this tweaker over there, and he stole some stuff from a store, and I think he ditched it in the wash behind your house, so I'm looking for the stuff. And thank you very much. I had my Navy hat on. I'm a Navy mom, and he thanked me for my service. I thanked him for his, and I walked along. A little further up, I saw the rest of the 4 or 5 sheriff's vehicles. I saw the gentleman who was handcuffed and laying his face down on the front of the sheriff's vehicle. And my heart broke and swelled, and I wondered, my favorite Broadway show is Les Mis, where this guy stole a loaf of bread and was in prison for many, many, many years. And I wondered, did this guy steal food? Was it something that he needed? Does he need water? I actually have water. Did he steal something he could sell so that he could get food? The guy looked pretty skinny and strung out. And so I wasn't going to interfere with the police action, but so I just sent love to all of them and just prayed in my heart that they work things out to everybody's best and highest service. But what struck me was that the sheriff's deputy called this guy a tweaker, because in order to carry out his job, he had to strip this human of his humanity, right? So please, please, please don't send me any hate. Not for the police, not for the gentleman who stole whatever he stole. I'm not interested in it, and I won't have the conversation. No anger, no hate. I'm not interested in it. What I am interested is in seeing the sheriff's deputy as a human, the gentleman that quote unquote perpetrated the quote unquote crime as a human, and everybody involved as humans that are in fear, in sadness, in separation from their humanity. When we call somebody something, then we make them other, which may make it easier for us to marginalize, to move away, to lack empathy toward another being. So just notice what we do. You know, we'll call somebody a Republican, and that helps to make them other. We'll call somebody a Democrat, and that helps to make them other. We'll call somebody a Jew, and that helps to make them other, or a Palestinian, or, you know, whenever we dehumanize somebody, we are also I don't know how to say this word, I'm going to make it up. We're also taking away their divinity. When we separate the human from their humanity, we are also separating them from their divinity. And so let's try not to do that. Or to figure out why we feel the need to do this. You know, I really believe that in order for that sheriff's deputy to kind of be hard on this human, which is part of his job, that he had to dehumanize him. And also not see the God in him and not see the divine in him. So as I'm not judging that that's what they had to do, each of them, and the person who took something from somebody, he had to dehumanize who he was taking from. We have to do that sometimes to survive in the world in the way it is, but it's important, when we dehumanize or pull the divinity away from somebody else, we are doing the same thing to ourselves. So I want you to know that you deserve your humanity and you deserve your divinity. You are human, you are divine. Once you take away somebody else's, you diminish or take away your own. So if we can see our own humanity, you know, when I make a mistake, or somebody called me up recently and she was talking about herself, and she's a beloved friend, and she said, well, the stupid person I am, or the mean person I am, I did X amount. And I just asked her, I said, could you maybe just change that to the human that I am? I made this mistake, or the human, I was just, oh, look at me being human again. When I make a mistake, I go, oh, look at me, I'm being human again. And so if you can take back your humanity, which means in its essence that you are perfect in your imperfection, then you can see yourself also as divine. Do you get the connection? You are perfect in your imperfection. I am perfect in my imperfection. It makes me human, and it also makes me an expression of the divine. It makes you human. It makes you an expression of the divine. So let's try to not take away somebody, and you can even like look at the impetus. Why am I taking away somebody else's humanity and in essence their divinity? Well, probably because I'm afraid of them. Probably because I'm afraid of whatever impact that they'll have on my life. If it's political, oh my gosh, these people are going to overrun these people, and then I'm not going to have any choices anymore. I'm not going to have this. So I'm going to say that 99.9999999% of the time it's based in fear. So if you're embracing yourself as a human, you would say, I just tried to take away somebody's humanity by calling them a this or that, or making them other in a certain way. I wonder what I'm afraid of. I wonder what about that person scares me. And then I can embrace my fear. I can nurture myself around the fear. And then suddenly I am human. I am compassion. I am loving. I am sitting in my divinity and seeing theirs. So I've been listening, I mentioned to Ram Dass a lot lately, and there was a particular politician at the time that he was young and speaking a lot, and he actually would take that picture of that politician, this is a stretch, and put it on his puja table. Now normally our puja table is our altar. It's where we have people that we revere, that we worship, that we love, that help us in our growth. But because he had an anger or even a hatred toward this political figure, he actually put a picture of him on his puja table. So the people that I make other or marginalize or dehumanize are my greatest teachers, are my greatest opportunity for rehumanizing, for seeing as divine. It's a big stretch. You might even have a picture of yourself on there. Do you have some self-loathing, self-love work to do? Put a picture of yourself in a prominent place that you can love. So that's the goal. We see ourselves and others as human and expressions of the divine. So we'll do a meditation around that. So find your comfortable seat. And because you want to be as compassionate to yourself as a human, make sure that you're comfortable and not necessarily sitting in a rigid way. I'm sitting on the floor on a cushion, it just makes me happy. Sometimes I meditate in a chair, on the couch, or even sitting up in the bed. So make yourself comfortable and allow the eyes to close down gently if you feel comfortable with eyes closed. If not, you can keep the eyes open enough to let some light in. And we'll begin simply by connecting with the breath. The breath is an expression of the divine. It's also an expression of your humanity. You cannot live as a human if you're not breathing. You can go a long time without water. You can go a while without food. Can't go long without the breath. So embracing the breath, noticing the breath, celebrating the breath is a celebration of your humanity. The breath is a gift that's been given at our birth. We are breathed for the rest of our lives. And the gift is taken back at the end of our lives. So allow yourself to revel in, celebrate, enjoy the simple act of breathing for the next few moments. The rasa, the taste, the delight of the breath. You might enjoy the feel of the breath, noticing maybe how the rib cage rises and falls when you breathe. So we're not commanding or orchestrating the breath, we're just enjoying it exactly as it shows up. No need to change it. Just get to enjoy the breath. Notice how far with your awareness you can follow the path of the breath. For some of us, it might just be in through the nostrils, or you might feel the breath at the back of your throat. You might feel those collarbones rising and falling as you breathe. Or you might feel your abdomen expand with the inhale. Gently contract with the exhale. As we make the attention more refined in this moment, Just notice how far you can follow the path of the breath. On the inhale and on the exhale. Where does the exhale begin for you? In the abdomen or the lungs or the back of the throat? Just noticing the breath. And then we'll bring the awareness then into the body and noticing the body. The body, the very physical expression of your humanity. And bring the awareness to any place that you have discomfort, either now or habitually. I might have a left shoulder thing, my low back sometimes. So just bring your awareness to parts of your body that might call out to you. And when they do, are you normally judging them? Oh, I've got a bad hip or a bad shoulder or a bad knee. My fill in the blank gives me trouble. My back pain's a pain in the butt. I suffer from headaches. Whatever is your challenge in your body, notice now without judgment that area. So if I have knees that are special, now I can either bring a hand there or just bring your awareness there in a way that you can embrace it as, oh, this is what happens in a human body over time. Or this is what happens in a human body that is trying to communicate something with me. And so we can lovingly be open now. And I might ask my left shoulder, what is it that you're trying to communicate with me? Thank you for showing up in this way. And breathe into the loving question. What is it that my body is trying to tell me? Maybe I'm overworked or tired or stressed. Maybe I need more love or play or touch. So instead of judgment, we come to the humanness of our bodies with an open, loving question. What is it that you need today, dear heart? Maybe it's the heart. Exhale any judgment around challenges in the body. Now, either physically or just in the mind's eye, imagine giving your body a hug. Just you, wrapped around you. And expressing love for your humanness, the body that you've been gifted and chosen to take this time. A loving embrace with the awareness I'm embracing my own humanness. I'm embracing my own humanness. I embrace my humanity, and in so embrace my divinity. So for a few moments, sit with that mantra. I embrace my humanity, and in so doing, embrace my divinity. I embrace my humanity, and in so doing, embrace my divinity. I embrace my humanity, and in so doing, embrace my divinity. I embrace the humanity of others, and in so doing, embrace their divinity. I embrace the humanity of all others, and in so doing, embrace their divinity. I embrace the humanity of all others, and in so doing, embrace their divinity. And with an exhale, release any bit of you that struggles with embracing your humanity, your divinity, and or the humanity or divinity of others. And that might take a few exhales here. And so it is. And deepening your breath will bring the awareness back to the surface. If you want to stay in meditation in your safe place to do it, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, we'll begin to wiggle the fingers, maybe wiggle toes. You might circle wrists or ankles. Just to bring yourself back into the body, you can stretch in any way that feels comfortable to you. I like to circle my neck a little bit. That's one of the areas that my humanity shows up, my humanness. And then in your own time, you can begin to blink the eyes open. Coming back into the room, back into your day. Every single time we join together and do a meditation together, we are making an investment into the raising of our consciousness, to our continued connection to each other. So I'm so honored that you'll show up with me on these days. And please contact me if you have any questions or you'd love some support. I'd love to help you in the endeavor of moving forward during post-COVID. I'm Amanda Freed. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.